All right, good morning, everyone. We should be live. We had a CPI report this morning at 7:30 a.m. Central Time. Obviously, the CPI report came out higher. The economy is growing faster than obviously what the Fed is looking for. So the positive of that is that the equities markets all obviously like that news. But in general, when we're looking at the Fed trying to cut rates and trying to get inflation under control, that report today obviously did not help. And that has obviously a lot of implications in the marketplace. Obviously, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a broker owner here in Chicago, and that doesn't help obviously mortgage rates, interest rates, and there's I don't know. I think the Fed is obviously, I don't believe that there is going to be any interest rate cuts here this year for 2024. So we'll see how the general economy and general market react to that. But obviously, the equities markets liked it, kind of anticipating a spike, and that's exactly what we got right at the 7:30 candle. So taking a look at the commodities markets, if we take a look at oil, which is always on the left-hand side of my chart, we were in a downtrend. Obviously, CPI report gave it a really good spike, and now we are kind of retracing. I'm going to explain to you guys this little area right here and why I believe that this this area is so damn powerful. On gold, also, had obviously a huge spike, and it's kind of ranging here this morning. So that was a pretty damn big spike there in gold. Taking a look at our trades from yesterday, we had a beautiful trade in gold. Gold is on a heater. Let's take a look here. Let's see if I could pull this up really quick. So gold for May is up 167 ticks. So if you be trading 1E mini, that's $1,670. Yesterday we got a trade 36 ticks to the short, full take profit. Really nice trade there in gold. Let me set this one up. All right. And in oil. So oil, we did take I'm not trading session one currently, but this was a 35 tick, let's call it a max size trade, to the shorts. Went down to, we had some pretty good momentum out of it. Depending on, I think it came to like 67% take profit. So you could have reduced your risk down here to 15 ticks or 16 ticks. Actually, no, this would have been like 17 ticks or 18 ticks to be half. And no trade in oil session 2. Now, I don't want to jinx myself, but oil session 2 is 7 sessions in a row with winners. So you kind of have to start doing the math on that one. Oil session 1 is up currently 82 ticks for May, and oil session 2 is up 83 ticks for May. So let me park this one here so I do not miss a trade. Perfect. Okay. We've got about 6 more minutes before we could take a trade here in gold session 1. I want to explain to you guys this little area right down here. We don't see this on the charts a lot. But when we do, it's a very, very now obviously this is pre-session for me, so I'm not taking a trade here, but I wanted to give you this example where when you start seeing multiple inside bars kind of consecutively, and you can kind of see here that this has just kind of been sitting in a range down here, obviously pre-CPI report. But in my opinion, the strategy of these morning inside bar strategies, they get even more powerful as as more inside bars appear and price action starts to stay within that confined area. And again, it's all about that built up. It's all about that built up pressure that is showing up in the marketplace. And again, we're just trying to get a temporary movement or a push in one direction or the other. So when you see these setups, I mean, this could be a scenario where you might even want to go up a little bit in your position sizing. It's just from what I've been looking at this stuff for a very long time, and these trades seem to have very, very good win rates. Again, they don't show up many times. I mean, you guys saw it. I mean, oil session 2 yesterday didn't have any inside bars. So they don't show up a lot, but when they do, and here, perfect example in gold. Gold is in the same scenario right here. You got inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. It's 3 inside bars in a row. Now, it did have a small push down here that really has not had follow through, but this to me is just an area that there's definitely some consolidation there. So I don't know, it's just something that I have observed while trading these strategies for so long, and maybe it provides some value. So we're going to map out all of our levels here. I'm just going to make sure that, well, we don't have any trade here, so I can get started on that. Morning, everybody. Let's see what the chat has to say this morning. Afternoon from Norway. That's awesome. Congrats. Vernon Hills, neighbor of mine. Hopefully you're enjoying the weather. Finally shifting over here in the city. Sounds like if they wait too long to cut, it would be problematic. Well, yeah, that you're right. I mean, obviously, eventually, you're going to obviously stall out the economy if rates continue to stay this high. But they really don't have any other. They really don't have any other solution but to get inflation under control before they can start to bring interest rates down. So it's a very tricky situation in the markets right now. Obviously, for equities and stocks and the indexes, they're loving that information. I mean, if the economy's moving, consumer price index is up. That means people are spending money still in the economy, and that's good for the big companies. So not necessarily great for, the middle income, low income or you guys see gas prices and you guys see where, you go to the grocery store and shit, I go to Costco and it's $250. I go to Jewel, it's $200. It's you see the prices every single day. So, and it's not necessarily always the pricing. It's also the shrinkage of the products that we are buying. That's another thing that a lot of people don't see is that, yeah, sometimes the prices will stay the same, but they've reduced what's inside the cereal boxes, or I guess I can stop talking about the economics of what's going on. But also I see it very strongly in the real estate market. I mean, there's a lot of obviously shifting in that marketplace, and inventory is extremely low. Prices are still, going up, and rates have not come down at all. So it's tough. It's tough to buy a home right now. All right, so let's get started with the ES. So I got the ES here on the charts. Now, so let me explain one thing with these levels, especially on a day like today where we have a big high impact news event that gives you a pretty strong shift in one direction. The issue with these big spikes is that it does make mapping out the levels a little bit more difficult, because these spikes do go through many levels that just can't contain the high impact news, the stress of the high impact news. The levels can't contain them. So it's in my opinion very, very, very difficult to trade it while that report is coming out. Now afterwards, leading up into the open, which is in about 20 minutes, you can still map out levels. And I'm starting on the ES. I start off on the 15-minute time frame each and every morning. And what I am looking for in these level strategy is I am looking for price action to be going in a direction, and I am looking for price action to get halted and to be shifted in the opposite direction for one reason or the other. I'm not smart enough to tell you what exactly that reason is. There's a lot of industry words that are out there that people like to throw around, but I'm honestly not that smart to tell you exactly what it is. But I'll give you guys some examples of what it is, that exactly what I'm looking for. We see here we've got market going in an up direction. Market gets halted here and then shoots out of that area very strongly. So what I will do is I will come in and put a horizontal line in an area that is intersecting both bodies, not the wicks. I don't touch the wicks. I'm looking for where it's intercepting the bodies. And my 15-minute levels are on a solid blue line. That's just the way that I chart it. It's important to differentiate your 15-minute level and your 5-minute level. So I always start on the 15. Looks like we might have a setup here in gold, so I might have to switch over here in a couple minutes. Here's another example of what I'm looking for. Price action halted, and then it had an extremely strong move out of that area. So I will put another 15-minute level here. This already to me starts to look intriguing, because now I've got two very strong levels that are about 5.5 points away from each other. So in my opinion, there could possibly be a decent trade here off of the 15-minute. If I keep going, now I see this really long down wick right here. This I know would have tapped into a majority of the levels below me, so I don't even need to see anything down here, because where we're at is all the way up here. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find another level that I can place above where price action is at. Now, if we see this was created by CPI, I will put a line right here. And this is definitely an area where when price action just shoots out of an area, you're going to have orders that are going to be constantly sitting there, or I should say that are sitting there, that's going to cause a reaction here to the marketplace. And what we're doing is just trying to find trading opportunities. And then now to get to price action above me, I'm not even sure if we have price action above us. That we do, right here. Okay. So now I can see where price action is currently at. It's at 52.96. So I need to find something above it. This to me, yes, could be a natural area where you can put, between these two. It's obviously double top here. It's top of a market. But it's not as strong for me, because you can see that price action eventually dropped hard, but it was sticking around here for almost 45 minutes. So and during those 45 minutes, price action is constantly tapping into it and starting to kind of, in my opinion, shrink liquidity a little bit. Let me jump into... All right, so we got no trade. The inside bar in gold dropped below this bar, so we do not have an inside bar set up, so I can continue on with my charting. So I'll map this level, maybe not as strong, but we'll see what kind of shows up in the 5-minute. What do we got here? All right, so we've got a downtrend, an up bar, and a strong downtrend. This would be a good level right about here. Maybe not as great, because it did tap right back into it. So again, two week levels right back to back. Maybe not the best trading opportunities. But now if we take a look at what our chart looks, now we're starting to see levels in the market where I can see some possible movement or bounces. So that's what I like to call them, is bounces outside of or I should say bounces within my levels. Now what I will do is I will switch down to the 5-minute time frame and see what type of, I'm looking for the exact same thing, and I'm looking for opportunities within that 5-minute time frame. So again, this is going to be a difficult area just because price action spiked so hard that this is probably blown through a lot of 5-minute levels that I just won't trade anymore. Doesn't mean that they're not tradable. I'm looking for one high probability setup per day. That's exactly what it is that I'm looking for. So if we continue down on the 5 minutes, I guess I can say I can put a level here, dotted line to represent a 5-minute. And then as I start doing this, you guys can start to see trading opportunities, possible ones. I mean, you know, this is still pretty early and it's probably not the best price action as of right now. But you use what you'd like to do is you'd like to use a 15-minute level, and then obviously target something here on another 5-minute level, which we don't have anything right here. So again, even though I've got a clear entry point with a stop loss behind it on a 5-minute level, I don't have anything that shows me that it's a clear area where I could think that price action will go. Now, as price action develops, let's just say that this becomes a 5-minute level. Okay, well, now you could target that. That's super aggressive. I would not be looking for that big of a move in that ES. I would like to see price action come back down, make a strong 5-minute level, and then start to target that for a positive risk to reward. All right, let's see if we can find anything else here. All right, so we got one. On the 5-minute, you can see clear up bars. Market gets halted here for one reason or the other, and then we get a strong movement out. I will place that one right there. So that would now be my 5-minute level down here. Anything else? I don't see anything. I don't see anything else. I see one right here. Again, line goes through both intersecting bodies. You've got an up bars, something stopped the market, and then you got strong movement out. And then as you start to create these levels, you start to visualize trading opportunities. And a trading opportunity that I can see is right here. You take a long from 52.49. You can target your 5-minute level at 52.59, which is a 10-point move on the ES. That's $500. And then you've got a stop loss at the 5-minute, 52.45. And then you've got even another level below you, a 15-minute level at 52.42. So hopefully you guys can start to understand how it is that I visualize these levels and how I use these levels for entries, take profits, and stop losses. Some days price action just looks ugly. There is not these very close levels where I get a 15-minute and a 5-minute or two 15 minutes back to back, which is even stronger because now you've got like another layer of defense built into your trading opportunities. Let's see above us if we see any 5-minute levels this way. Probably gonna have to scroll for a while. And I do get this question a lot, like how far out do you look for levels? Well, obviously on the levels below us, because of price action on how quickly it moved up, levels below us, I'm using today's price action and yesterday's price action. Above us, which has been an area that we have not been in for a very, very long time, that's going to have to go out. I'm already on April 24th. So I've got to find an area that, okay, so we've got a 5-minute level right there, and which helps now because that kind of creates a small area. Let's see if there's anything else. Here we go. So I am already, believe this is like April 1st. So I mean, look, this is going out a pretty long ways out. We've got a 5-minute, let me expand this. Another 5-minute level right here. And I would say that's about it that I see. Now, are these great trading opportunities up here? Probably not, just because of the length of time in between where price action is currently and it was before. But you can start to visualize a trade. I'm going to say with relative certainty that once price action gets into this area, it's going to meet resistance. It's going to meet bounce. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a very small scalp, 4 to 8 to 10 points maximum on the ES with a positive risk to reward. That's what we're, at least that's what we're looking for and hoping for. So gold possibly has an inside bar setup, but there's about 3.5 minutes left on that. And then again here, you know, you've got a scenario where you could take price action here. We could take a bounce. And then I would target the most fresh 5-minute level, which would be right here. Whoops. Okay, small trade. You do have a very tight stop loss here. You can put your stop loss here. And you can also let price action determine, you know, if this goes down, let's say to 52.85, and you get another 5-minute level that's down here. Now the trade starts to become what I would consider to be a pretty damn good risk to reward on that trade. So even though I post these levels each and every morning on Discord, and I post these type of setups that I'm looking for, and this could also even look like this. So you can even do something like this. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. But again, you're only looking for one trade per day. That's just my opinion. That helps you from revenge trading and over trading. So that's mapping out the ES. Let's take a look at, and I think that the more visual examples you guys see of this, my goal here is to obviously help you guys just come up with the levels each and every morning on your own, and you can kind of look at my levels, see if they start to match up, and then kind of start to visualize these trading opportunities for yourself. That's obviously the goal with even demonstrating these. So sorry, let's start on the 15-minute. Okay, we got a clear area right here. That was a mistake. We got a clear area right here. Price action's coming down, halts, gets a big movement out with CPI. That's an easy one. And that is on a 15-minute, so that's going to be a solid blue line. Here's another very easy level that I can see right here. Price action comes down, halts, makes a big movement out. This is an area that I can definitely see something happening. You even got another level right down here, even though it's a little bit weaker because price action did tap into it. And then again, the same spike down. I don't really need to see anything else besides down here. I've already got 3 levels below price action. You know, you don't want to fill your chart up with 1,000 levels because then you'd have no idea what you're trying to trade. So let's see. Let's see what else I can find above us. Oh, let me just make sure that there was... Okay, so we got nothing where we're currently at. Might have something possibly right here at 39,825. Again, we're on the YM, but let's see above us what we can find. Let's scroll and see what price action is. Oh, we've got some gaps above us. Okay, so we still have some gaps above us that I will extend out. All right, so we had a big movement out from right here. Okay, so intersecting both bodies, strong movement out. Sucker ranged for a while though. Again, not the greatest. This is definitely, I would consider this a weaker level as of right now. I believe this is all FOMC day. And this one is right up here. I don't see price action coming anywhere near there. So now it tells me too that we have some gaps here that have not been filled out. Let's see if I can move this guy. I could have probably just copied it. Probably would have been a lot smarter. Let's see. Boy, this is dumb. Probably could have just made a new box. All right, let's see. We should be getting close here to where we currently sit. All right, May 6th. This is not the best way to do this. Okay. Geez, that was a struggle. All right, so again, we've got a gap up here that has not been filled in. It's another question that I get a lot of. Rob, what are these gaps that or what are these boxes, these purple boxes that we put on my charts? What this is an area that price action has moved, and it's an area where price action has not touched back into. And there's a lot of traders out there that trade gaps and that trade fair value gaps and all that. I honestly do not trade these areas. These are an area that I really just do not even look for a trade, because I have no idea if it's going to touch this area and reject, or if it's going to try to fill this gap in. So I don't really find it an area that I like to trade. But at the same time, I do map them out when it's something like significant, or if it's an area where I don't want to take a trade. So that kind of limits that. So now if I jump into the 5-minute time frame, let's see. None of this here looks interesting to me. Again, we've got a very small level down here. Change this dotted line. Possible trading opportunity right there, but don't love it. This is all straight up, I'm sorry. So all up bars. I don't see in any area here where price action was like halted for one reason or the other, and you get in an opposite direction or a strong movement in one way or the other. So not loving anything right here. So this is already a huge gap. This is a gap from 39,660 all the way to 39,527. I'm going to be very careful by saying gap. It's not the same gap as what I was explaining here. This is just in one huge candle, a big movement out where price action has not gone back into. So getting back to, let's see if there was any. So this would have been a good gap. So here's a good example. Like this would have been a great gap on the 5-minute. Obviously touched into it already, rejected out. So this is no longer good. I just don't like anything here. So again, on the YM, the only trading opportunity that I could possibly see, and I don't even like it, would be a movement to 39,665. God knows where you're gonna, target, but as of right now, this would be my target. This is the freshest 5-minute level. You've got a stop loss right below here. This to me looks like a crap setup. Okay, so I would not be trading that. Down here, better possibility. You got two 15-minute levels down here. So, I mean, this could look something a little bit better, a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to leave this one right here. This would be my most high probability setup on the YM, even though I probably wouldn't trade it. 39,527, 39,500. And then last and not least, our good old friend, the NASDAQ. Let's see what the NASDAQ has to offer. Again, today maybe not the best day to show you guys these levels just because of CPI and what news kind of was created by it, but it's a good training opportunity at the same time. So if we start on the 15, I got a level right there that I like. I got a level, don't like that. I got a level right here that I love. Right here. I've got a level right here that I love. And I almost have a level right here that I love, but we tapped right into it, so it's much weaker. What do I think about this one? Well, we got 3 below us. I don't really need anything else. That's good enough for now. Let's see above us what we got. All right, so we're kind of, oh, here we go. We got a great one right here. Right there. Let's move this down just a tad right there. That's a great one. I like that one. And that's an area where price action can be very right there. Got a very strong rejection. So we got some great 15-minute levels above us. At least from what, oh, we already tapped into this level. Duh. So, well, this level has kind of already been tapped into, so I can delete this guy. No reason to have him there. All right, so then let's take a look at the 5-minute. Let's see what we got. Maybe we got something right here. Change this to dotted line. Price action kind of came right very close to it, so it might be a little weaker of an area. Let's see what else we got. Let's blow this up so we can actually see what we're looking at here. I'm gonna put this level right here. Weaker level, obviously it's been tapped into. Oh, beautiful level right here. Those are the ones that excite me. The levels that are just clean, clean directions. You're not going to trade the inside bar on the CL. I'm not trading session 1, but I'm taking stats on session 1. So I do know that we're in a short on that one, and looking like it's going to be a pretty decent trade. I'm currently trading oil session 2. We do have oil inventory report coming out at 9:30. So I am looking for a trade right now in gold and in oil. I'm sorry, oil session 2, once 9 o'clock. So I got about 25 minutes left for that one. Okay, so this 5-minute level excites me a lot right here. What else? I think that's about it. So, in my opinion, on the NASDAQ, what I would be looking for is a move down to maybe this. Well, I guess you could use this right here. And you've got 2 stop losses below you. So 18,406 would be our entry to go long. Stop loss 1839, 394 or 379. Trade right now would look, this would be probably pretty hefty trade. That's a big movement. 84. Let's say we go to middle. That's a 1 to 4 trade. I mean, it would look something like this. Again, I know this looks very aggressive. 84 points is not something that I would target necessarily on the NASDAQ, even though I am, it could make those moves without a problem. What my feeling on these trades would be is wait for a 5-minute level that's somewhere a little bit more realistic, somewhere, you know, down here that makes the trade well worth your time and investment. Okay. So those are the 3 levels. Those are the 3 indexes that I am currently, how I currently trade those levels. So let's get to some questions. Statistics. So statistics on all, well, I guess all of my strategies. I don't run statistics on the levels just because I feel like that's very difficult to kind of do, but I track them all on my dashboard. So, I mean, you guys see what the balances are every day. The oil, let's start with oil. So question I got was, you know, what are the win rates on this? I started trading oil and gold. I started with oil, session 1 and 2 back in June. So probably going on almost a year now. And June through pretty much December was red hot. I was averaging about a 73% win rate on the oil strategies. December hurt the stats. January was pretty much terrible. February was not that great. It was like around 47%. So it was a negative return on oil and gold. And then again, we started to pick up where end of February started becoming really good. March started to become really good. And then April, can't remember now what April looked like. I think April was still a little bit down. May, we're probably at about a 78% win rate, which is really high. Just looking at the stats, and I come out with my stats each and every month. I post in Discord, so you can kind of go back and see all the back testing results. I think I already mentioned that oil session 1 is up 82 ticks for May. Session 2 is up 83 ticks for May. And gold is up 167 ticks for May. With the Rob reversal. And I was so happy yesterday, too, when I finished my video. We had taken this 35-point win. I have now the strategy changed to my trailing stop, so this looks a little different than what it did yesterday. But yesterday was a 35-point winner, and then we also had a 35-point loser based off of this 12:15 and 12:30 candle. So the Rob reversal for May is actually down one trade. So we're down 35 points for May. Yesterday it would have been break even if that trade wouldn't have if it just would have been that first trade. If we were only taking one trade, that would have been great. Last month was the first really negative month of the Rob reversal that I've had since trading that since about August or September. So the win rate on the 15-minute Rob reversal has been really good. And then oil and golds. And I get this question asked a lot. They're like, well, Rob, you're doing good with your levels now. Why do you keep trading these strategies? And why do you put so much focus on your gold and oil strategy? Let me just see if oil session 1 was a winner. I guess those that are trading it, you could probably tell me quicker. So it looks like we were targeting 16. Oh yeah, that was a winner. So oil session 1 was a winner this morning for 16 ticks. The question with why am I not trading session 1 and only trading session 2? Okay, so historically, session 2 has definitely had a higher win rate than session 1. When I first started trading the strategy back in August and heavily in September and October, session 1 was on fire. It was just like, it was like almost automatic. It was crazy. And then session 1 started having a lot of trouble in December, in January, and February. And I'm not an idiot. I mean, I look at this. That's the reason why I like to look at all of my stats once a month. I obviously keep stats weekly on how the strategies are doing. But my rule of thumb has always been, if I'm going to make a tweak, I don't know why. Oh, because I'm not there. If I am not, I don't like to make major tweaks because I don't want to be that guy that's just bouncing off of strategies and changing with the way that the wind shifts each and every day. If you do that, it's a losing strategy because then you're going to lose confidence and you start taking trades that you're like, oh crap, if I would have left everything, that would have won. Just like today. I mean, session 1 was a winner. Session 1 has been doing really well for me. But I will give it the full 30 days. And I will reevaluate each and every strategy on a 30-day basis if I need to make any small tweak to the strategy. And that's why currently I'm not trading oil session 1. There's also something to be said, and this is probably something I haven't even mentioned on YouTube or on Discord. There's a difference between sometimes trading 3 trades per day and 2 trades per day. There's a lot of ways that you can approach trading. You can have a strategy where if your first trade is profitable, you're done for the day. Okay? You've got profit, walk away. That's a strategy. There is a strategy where if you lose your first trade, you will take your second trade to try to at least even out the day. And the third strategy is you trade all of the strategies that show a positive win rate and that you have confidence in, which is the way that I trade it. That's the way that I have always kind of approached it. Now, there's a small, and this is psychological with me, so take that for what it's worth. Sometimes you can be down two trades from oil session one and gold. And then do you really want to take that third trade to really put you maybe in a hole if it's one of those days where all three trades lose? You obviously have the scenario where you have a unicorn day where you've got two positive trades and you're up $500, and then do you want to take that third trade? Or are you happy with the $500? Honestly, for me personally, two sessions, gold, oil session two seems to be just seems to be the winning strategy for me. That's the way that I feel really, really comfortable with it. Not to say I'm not going to ever trade oil session one. That's not the case. Oil session two can start to suck ass, and then I will move to session one if that's showing positive results, again, based on a historical backtest, not just changing from day to day or week to week. There are a lot of people that, when I first started my channel, the strategies were red hot. I mean, red hot. Discord was going crazy every single day. It was easy. It was easy to trade. And then you get into a month where, you go into let's say January and or February, and the stats look abysmal. Okay. And, everybody then starts to look for something else because this wasn't the holy grail method that's going to work every single month. That isn't possible in trading. You're going to have losing months and you're going to have good months. You need your good months to outweigh your bad months. I see it. It's very simple for me because I've got cash accounts with NinjaTrader that I trade my morning strategies and I trade my Rob reversal with. And starting yesterday, I took a levels trade. I took that NASDAQ trade on cash. I did chicken out a little bit early. I only took a $200 profit on that one. But I had a great day yesterday. I traded gold for $360 on cash, and I traded and I made that NASDAQ trade. So that was a huge day for me. It was $560 green. So these type of strategies, these mechanical strategies, what they avoid is over trading and revenge trading. You can have a strategy that's got an 85% win rate. But if you are not disciplined as a trader and do not start, and you can have, again, an 85% win rate, you're doing great. Every day you're building up your account, you take that loss. Maybe you take that second loss the next day, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to make that money back in the market. And what do? You start trading outside of your rules, outside of your conditions, outside of your the parameters that you kind of set each and every morning. And that second trade loses, and the third trade loses, and it's a snowball effect where now all of the profits that you've made for the entire month have been gone in one trading day. And I know this because I used to be that trader. And since I moved to mechanical and very clear set rules, even on the months where it is negative, let's say oil's negative 30 ticks, it's okay because this is a long-term scenario. Okay? Not every strategy is going to have a winning rate every single month. And you're just looking for more months than less months. That's for damn sure. And if you keep that mindset and you prevent yourself from over trading, I guarantee you'll be a much better trader. And you're going to be more profitable over the long run. So I sometimes I get comments on YouTube that Like, well, your win weight's 61%. You know, that's not worth it on a 1-to-1. Okay. But for me, it is, because I have been green since August. And I have never had that before. And I know that these strategies, even though they're not the sexiest, they're not the coolest, they're not the, the ones that get the headlines on YouTube, they work. And they take a lot of indiscretion out of the marketplace. So that's my 2 cents on win rates, the strategies, why I trade oils session 2 versus oil session 1. What were the tweaks to the Rob reversal? Okay, so that one's an easy one. We got some time. We've got a setup here in gold. So I've got about 3.5 minutes. Please let me know, guys, if I missed something there, because I can't trade in cash today because of this dumb streaming software that I set up. Every time I minimize the screen, it takes away my chat. I don't know. I got to figure this part out because it kind of sucks, even though I think the last few streams have been profitable days and I really haven't been able to take a trade. So it kind of hurts. All right, let's take a look really quickly at the 15-minute Rob reversal. So by now, I'm assuming that everyone knows at least what we're looking for as far as our pattern is concerned. If you haven't, just link in the description. I'm not going to rehash the entire strategy all over again, but pretty much what we're looking for is on a setup to go long. Obviously, you've got a down bar. You are then having your next bar have a lower low, but that does not create a higher high. Okay, and it's an up bar. So that will create this this candle to go long. Now the filter I have in place is the 8 EMA. So it has to close above the 8 EMA, which this particular setup does. But I closed my trading window at 1:15. This was at 3:15, so this was not a valid setup. Okay, so that's the basic premise of the Rob reversal. Now I will change this so we can start with the original strategy. Let me disable, apply. Let's take the trailing stop off. Let's put the fixed stop on, and let's target 140 ticks, which is 35 points. And I'll enable it. Okay. All right, so here for yesterday, we get the setup, we get the candlestick pattern that we're looking for, and we get a setup to go long at the 9:15, 9:30 close candle. From here, you would have a entry point, one tick above this candle. Okay, that one tick is very important, people. You can even put 2 ticks if you want. That tick is, I'm telling you, it's important. So keep that always in your, keep that in there. Now, here you get, wait, this doesn't make any sense. What am I doing wrong here? Okay, so, and this is a perfect example of how when you're back testing strategies, you really need to look at the chart, because this, in Ninja, this has this as a loss. This was clearly a win yesterday, and I know it was a win because I took it and I recorded this trade. So it actually thinks that this trade, because of the historical data, or the way that it calculates ticks on NinjaTrader, had this as a loss with the long entry. This was a win. So we got activated to the upside. This was a clear, easy win for 35 points. Okay. So even though this shows a loss, that's why it's important to really manually back test them. Don't just rely on the strategy performance data, because this is a clear example of where this is wrong. It was definitely a win. I got it to, yes. Now this one, the second trade was definitely a loss. So we got an entry to go short. We get tapped in and this quickly reverses on us. So yesterday was a squash on the original strategy, which is 35 points of take profit, 35 points of stop loss. Now the only tweak that I have made is that Money Matt, Discord member here who created this, who coded the strategy in Ninja. Huge shout out to him. He has been fantastic for the Discord, for YouTube, and just an awesome human. What he has done is in the strategy, let me disable it. He has given you guys some options here on how you guys can take profit and how you can take a stop loss. And right now, the original settings is using a fixed stop loss. And I am going 1-to-1. I am looking for 140 ticks of take profit, 140 ticks of stop loss, which is 35 points, 35 points. Very easy. Everyone should know that one. If you don't, videos in the description. Take a look at it so you understand what it is that we're talking about. Now, he does have some other options here as to what you want to use. Now, I just, through observation and through manually looking at these trades every single day, and obviously trading this every single day, I have noticed a pattern that you would get these really strong 85, 105, 140 point moves on the NAS. With a trailing stop, you would achieve some really nice results. And I then started to implement a trailing stop. And what I would do is, instead of only looking for 35 points, I would bump this up to 280 ticks, which is 70 points, and use that trailing stop feature. So what a trade would look like once you're in, let's let it recalculate everything here. Okay, not a great example here yesterday, because this was when Powell was speaking. We had a big strong movement up, and then you had a really strong movement down. So here, and I don't think you get your 70 points here. I'm pretty damn sure you don't, but let's just see. 57 point move. So you wouldn't have achieved your 70 point, but then you would have got stopped out either way because your trailing stop would have still been at the bottom of this candle. So, well, actually, no. It would move up here. It would move up here, here, here. You would have got stopped out actually right here. Right at this level. Right there. Yeah, that makes more sense. So that would have been a profit of 25 points, okay? Using that trailing stop feature. So it's just trailing the bottom of each candle until you get to your fixed take profit. And where that fixed take profit is, you know, I mean, you have the ability to trade whatever it is that you're comfortable with. You can't tell me, Rob, 70 points or 35 points is too much on the NAS. You know how the NAS works. Those are still 35 points for damn sure is a realistic target. Move to the micros, you know, take 2 micros, take 3 micros, change your position sizing. And, you know, I get these questions like, well, why don't you just have a 10-point stop loss? Well, a 10-point stop loss on the NAS, you're going to get knocked out almost every time. You know, unless you just get that thrust and price action doesn't take a breather, it's too tight. It's way too tight of a stop loss. Now, if you're looking for 5 points on the NAS, and you have 10 point of stop loss, good for you. You can maybe get that, but eventually it's going to knock you in the butt, and that negative risk to reward is going to kill you. So just be careful with that. This is the way that I've been trading it with that trailing stop feature. And it's been going decent. I would say last month was much better for that than this month, but you know, these can always change. So let's see. TraderRob, when are you going to sport the comb over? Oh no. Do I need a comb over? Maybe, who knows? Rob, your insight is as good as your process. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for the kind words. Um, Overall, the strat is pretty solid. Thank you. Why would you use a 1-to-1 versus a 1-to-2? This is killing if it was a 1-to-2 win rate. Anthony, to answer your question on the 1-to-2, as far as I'm assuming you're talking about the oil and gold strategy. If I'm not, correct me. Just backtest it and take a look at the win rate with a 1-to-1 versus a 1-to-2, and I think you might be surprised to the results. Commodities move a little differently than the indexes. They definitely move differently, and what I have found is that you are going to get these temporary bursts, and price action really loves to retrace even a lot more than even the NAS and the ES. Well, maybe not the ES. The ES is always retracting. But, if you find something going 1-to-2 or 1 and 1.5 and it works, share it with us on Discord. Let us know what the results are. I've looked at it many times, and it's very tough with the win rate. I know it's double the reward, so you've got some room there for losses. I get all of that. And if you do see it as being profitable, let us know, because I would love to. I'd like to take a look at it. I do look at alternates about once a month, but at the same time, it's something that it's hard to put focus in on so many different alternatives to the strategy, and then without really messing too much with the core trading examples. So no trade in gold this morning. That was a bummer. So here I was saying that we would probably have a trade, and we had no trade. So yeah, so this inside bar, this inside bar, even if it forms an inside bar, I won't trade it at this point. I'm done with my session timing. At that point, you'd be taking a trade past 9 a.m. and it's not something that I'm looking to do. You could always add an after session, a pre-session. I mean, I heard somebody saying something about a London session, so there is opportunity out there, in different areas. Again, my focus is not taking more trades. My focus is taking on the one trade setup that I want to take, and that I like taking, and that I have confidence in taking. And I know if I continue to do that, I will then have confidence in the strategy, and that usually helps. So now our only trading opportunity, well, let me take a look at the levels really quick, but our only trading opportunity hopefully comes here, oil session 2. So let's talk about oil session 2 on days. Apex just outlawed. Okay. So days like today. So we've got oil inventory here this morning coming out at 9:30. A lot of debate around oil inventory, to trade or to not to trade. Typically speaking, if you're in a trade, oil inventory report comes out, man, I'm telling you, it's 50-50. It might even be less than 50-50. And the reason why I say it might be even less than 50-50 is that even if you get the direction right, sometimes there is that long wick that will hit your stop loss and then go right into the direction that you want. So it is tricky. And what I have done is I go back and I look at all the oil inventory days. It's pretty easy to spot. If hopefully you're using some kind of financial news software that obviously preps you for that, or join the Discord. Every morning I post what high impact news events are coming out that morning, what I kind of see in the market. Obviously I post my levels, and we post our trades as they go. So Discord would be a great place to start, but if not, you should always have news open. And during that oil inventory report, what you typically see beforehand is a pretty strong range. and then you get that strong movement out of that range. And I know for a fact we've had more positive oil inventory days than we've had negative oil inventory days as far as a trading percentage. So there's still, the edge kind of exists. It's just, to me, a much more riskier trade. And typically, if it goes against you, it's going against you not only at what your stop loss was, but add in some slippage to that stop loss as well. And I've seen some slippages as much as 9 or 11 ticks, which is pretty insane. Let's see what else we got here. 17 wick tick on oil. Yep, that was great. Alex, thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at our levels. Let's see what. All right, so perfect example. Well, we're starting on the NASDAQ right now. I'm down on the 5 minute. So intraday, once I've already mapped, I stay on the 5 minute. We mapped out this level based on here. Okay, so this already tapped through it. Granted, you got to understand that this is not a trading opportunity. Just because I have a level here does not mean that that's a trading opportunity. Actually, the complete opposite. This right here is telling me not to trade it because I have such a big range here and I have such a big range here that I have no clear stop loss, I have no clear take profit, and I have no clear entry. Okay. So what I will do with this level, now that it's been tapped into here twice, I will move it to a fresh level, which is right here, okay? Remember earlier when I was talking, and if we get a retracement down to this level at 18,406, I would be looking for a fresher level that's a little bit more realistic to target. This is exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So right now, that would be a much clearer take profit here. You've got clear stop losses below you. And I will, not to say that this trade is already etched in stone. Obviously, I don't have an order to go long here. But what I will look for is if price action starts to come back down here, I will still look for even a more fresher level in this area right here. Okay. I got no level above us. This would have been a level, but tapped right into it right here. So I got nothing here. Let's take a look at the ES. Right here. That was a close one. Didn't even see that. That's what happens when you start yapping too much. All right, so we almost tapped into a level here. We got another fresh level right here that I will map out. That's on the 5 minute. Again, this is just building trading ideas. This is not taking a trade from this level. Interesting. This is an interesting little area here. Interesting little area here. Quite possibly a trading opportunity here that would look something like this. Let's see what this looks like. On a short position, that's 15 points, that's a lot. Let's say I go right here, almost a 1 to 2. 15 points is pretty damn aggressive. I don't know. It's just possible. This is a possible trading idea. Are these recorded to use later? Yes. So the streams are recorded. They're posted after the stream. If you're interested in trading the levels, created a video about 5 days ago that explains how I come up with these levels. all of my morning strategies, oil, gold, and the 15-minute Rob reversal. They're all in the description below. I need to add the levels one to the description below as well. I haven't done that yet. So I don't know, people. This here looks to me like a possible short from this 5305 level. I could possibly take a stab at it here. So I'll keep an eye out here on the ES. Let's see, oil. All right, we've got a possible trade coming up in oil. So for those of you that, if this is the first time you guys are watching me, I'll kind of explain what you're looking at on the chart. So we've got oil here on a 5-minute time frame. What we're really looking for is this right here, is an inside bar setup where price action, or I should say the candle, closes with an equal high or an equal low or lower low. That doesn't sound right. With an equal high or less, or an equal low or higher candle, which creates an inside. And this is just an indicator that I have that paints these bars when they do meet that criteria. And what we would do in this scenario is we would put an order to go long above this inside bar, and in order to go short below this inside bar. We set them up as OCO orders, which are right down here. Order cancels other, so, or order cancels order, meaning that if we get activated into the short, which this is exactly what happened in oil session 1, you then, this order to go long automatically gets canceled. What I will do is I will use the candle before that inside bar as my source bar, which would be right here. I then would have my stop loss place at the top of this bar right there. And depending on where this entry is from this stop loss, this will be in ticks. And this one today was 16 ticks from here, the entry to go short, to this stop loss. You would then target 1-to-1, so 16 ticks puts you somewhere right here. It's much easier for me to do it on my trading view than Ninja, but it is what it is. So you would have taken your full take profit somewhere around here, or you would have taken full take profit of 16 points. So I trade oil with, well, the original strategy had 2 sessions, one from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and the second session from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. 1 trade per session. There are some days where you don't take a trade in one of the sessions, but it's, I would say it's pretty rare. So this invalidated now as a setup just because this had a higher high over here. And now there you could see that the indicator that had painted this green has now just a regular white candle. And I know that there's no inside setup there. You see the chatter on Apex and bracket orders. Yeah, I saw that on Discord. I currently don't trade. I don't use Apex. I use Top Step. So I don't necessarily have too much to weigh in on that one. I thought on the NQ he uses the ADMA. I do use the ADMA leaf for the Rob reversal, which is this chart that I was showing right here. This blue line here is the ADMA. This is how I filter my setups. If I get a setup to go long and it closes above the ADMA, then I have a trade setup as long as it's within my time conditions of 8:30 in the morning to 1:15 in the afternoon, and vice versa. If I'm going short, I need the candle, the activation candle, to close below the ADMA to get activated to the short. Now on my levels trades, I do not use any EMA as a filter or any piece of confluence. I'm still debating this trade here. Still debating it. I'm probably going to take it. A lot of range here. A lot of range, almost like it's setting up for a pretty big movement. And I just don't want to be caught on that huge movement to possibly this level up here and take that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to listen to my intuition, which as a trader is not the smartest thing in the world, but and it's not the best risk to reward, but that might be something that I can consider. So right here, take it off the 5-minute time, 5-minute level at 53.12. Use the 53.15 as a stop loss and target this level right back down here, or maybe even a fresh level down here if I see something that's entertaining. So let's set this one up. Limit sell, and let's place this one right about there. All right, so that would be the trade setup that I would look at. We'll see what happens when it comes down to this level at 53.05. Again, I'm seeing this where I can see price action taking a big jolt. So where can I get one? Okay, great question. So let me put this in the chat. All right, if you go into, Edward, if you go into that website that I just put in the chat, let me open it up here, robstrades.com. All right, you're gonna get into this, this website, and this has all of the latest indicators, strategies, the auto traders, they're all in here. So I start with the 15-minute Rob reversal. This explains the strategy. This explains the rules, how to install this into NinjaTrader. And again, this is a strategy, so this will automatically trade the 15-minute Rob reversal for you, just like how you see on my chart here. There is also a Rob reversal candle indicator, which all it will do is paint these arrows for you. So you do not have to have the actual auto strategy running. We also have the morning oil strategy. So this shows you a video on how to trade my oil strategy. Here are the rules and how to install the strategy. Very important if you want to install this. So this will actually trade, these inside bars for you. So the sessions are in there. It automatically finds the inside bar. It'll put the order to go long and short at the bottom of the inside bar, sets them up as LCOs. It already has, you know, 1-to-1 risk to reward. Pretty much all of the rules that we have are in there. So that's a great way to trade it. I trade them manually. I think I've explained a few times why I trade it manually. I just have more fun with it, to be honest with you. I love the process of trading. So it's, I don't know. That's just me. I got 1minute and 20 seconds left, so don't let me miss that. And then I've got the gold strategy as well. So there's the gold rules. The only thing I want you guys to understand is that the strategy for gold and oil is the same. It's the same code. It's the same Ninja script that you're going to be installing. The only difference in the two is, as a default, it's set to oil. So when you have the CL chart open and you install that strategy, it's going to be a default of oil. The only thing you need to do is adjust time zones or whatever sessions it is that you want to be trading, 1 or 2 or both. If you want to trade that same strategy in gold, install it on a GC chart or an MGC chart, which is the symbol for gold. And the only difference is when you open up the strategy, at the bottom there is a little drop-down box for templates. Click that template, click the gold strategy, and now it'll default to all of the settings for gold. Okay. Are you taking the inside CL? Yes, I would have taken it if it would have it invalidated obviously towards the end of that candle. But yes, I am. I haven't traded yet this morning, so I'm actually hoping that we can get a trade here because. Yeah. And then another thing too is at the top, you can put your email down here. This is not, I don't sell your information. I don't email you. I don't do anything. The only thing is that if we do any type of updates to to the strategies, it's an easy way for me to reach out to everybody just to let you guys know of that. All right, let's take a look back at our ES chart. Let's just scan really quickly the NQ. Let's see what's going on there. God, I wish there was an easier way of doing that. All right, so we got that level. Okay, ranging the same thing. I mean, it's like it's setting up for something. It is setting up for something. And then let's take a look at the YM. All right, nice little rejection off this 15-minute level again at 39.883. You would have targeted the 5-minute level right here. Pretty damn easy trade, actually. It wasn't actually an easy trade because we had no clear stop loss above us. So I take that back. That would not have been a good easy trade. This setup to me doesn't look likely. All right. So we'll sit and wait and see here for oil inventory report, which is in about 14 minutes. Or let's see if the ES shows up. Rob reversal, I don't believe has any setup pending. It does not. All right. I'm going to take 2 seconds to refill my cup of coffee. I'll be back in a second. All right, I'm back. Shout out to my kids for getting me a trading mug. I do have a mug that let's see here. I'll give myself a shameless plug. On the website, there is a merchandise. And this seems to be my favorite cup. It's also brought me some really nice luck in the tradings. So that's there. It'll help your trading. I'm joking, it won't. All right, so that's done. Explained where you guys can get the indicators at. Question, wasn't the 1005 bar inside on the CL? It was not. I hope I didn't miss a trade. 1005, so 905, I'm assuming you're Eastern time, so that was not an inside bar by about a tick. It was a tick above it. Pretty damn close to an inside bar, and it would have been pretty damn nice trade, but it was not. Gold did have an inside bar, but that was the 8:55 to 9 a.m. candle Central Time. So again, that would have been trading outside of my session from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. So no trade there. All right. What else do we got? Let me see if I got any other. Now's the time, guys, to ask any questions. We're in a state of pause here, waiting for a setup, waiting for oil inventory report, which is coming out in about 9 minutes. Always seems to set up a trade right before oil inventory. I think it's all of the major oil producers know that the Rob morning oil strategy is in play, so they want all of our liquidity. I'm joking. Sometimes that's the way you feel. Rob, on the levels, do you each day remove all levels and start a new one from one day before, or you keep levels for a few days when you remove a level? Great question, Sean. So generally speaking, I will typically delete all of my levels and map out new ones each morning. Now, if there has been an area that has not been tapped into from, let's just say that these are the levels I map out today. If price action starts retracing and starts ranging for the rest of the day, and these levels haven't been touched, well, they're obviously, if I had to go all the way back to April 1st to get to this level, then I will keep this one on my chart. If you guys remember from yesterday, I deleted all of the levels, but I had a trade set up that I absolutely loved. And I had two trade setups yesterday that I really liked, I think on the NASDAQ actually. And price action retraced down to my level, or went up to my level, took a short to the next level, and it was a beautiful trade for $300 yesterday. I also marked off another trade setup and that I had been waiting for about 5 trading days. So those levels I had not moved because they had not been tapped into yet. And that setup was a nice little setup as well. So hopefully that answers your questions. The majority of the levels get deleted and redone just because price action has already tapped into it. Remember, taps into it once, weakens the level. Taps into it twice, I will not trade it. Taps into it 3 times, I mean, that's way gone. So just remember to keep that as a kind of as a train of thought there. All right, let's take a look at oil. No setup there either. Man, talk about a boring day of trading. Not the best day for a live stream, but it's the way it is. So again, the only thing here on the ES, I want to say that this was a decent area to take a short, this 35.05. But again, my feeling is with all of the sideways price action that the market might be gearing up for a bigger move. And I don't want to get caught into that explosion outside of this range. Honestly, even this trade here is a little dicey, not the greatest A+ setup. And I know I also get into the fault of I want to take a trade. I want to take a trade each day, and sometimes no trade's a good day. But I like to have it. Excites me. So I'm not a perfect trader either. What do you guys think about music on the stream? I know some of the other YouTubers, they put some light music on or something in the background. Honestly, I haven't figured out even how to do it, so I probably would have to figure that part out, but that might be pretty good for some of these little areas of buffer. Let's take a look here at the other charts. What's going on? Damn, that was a good man. Sometimes these days of the only thing I really don't like about this stream is that I can't trade in cash. I mean, I guess I could move all of my charts to a free monitor and just kind of be bouncing my head like a swivel, but that's not really fun. So we got here 4 minutes for oil inventory. We're obviously not going to be in a trade leading into it. Could be a trading opportunity that comes after the report is released. We will see. Oil session 1. If I throw my trading view chart on here, which for me is just easier to map out. This was your inside bar at 8:25, close at 8:30. I'll just go through what this one would look like. You would have your order to go long at the top of this inside bar. You would have your order to go short at the bottom of this inside bar right here. Obviously, we got activated into the short. So you're in a trade short. This order to go long automatically gets canceled out as it's an OCO order. We bring in our tool here to find the trade. That's your entry. Your stop loss goes to the top of your source bar right here. 15 ticks. I think that's right. Yep, 15 ticks. And then we get 15 ticks of take profit. You get that take profit in that first down candle there. Obviously a nice little move even after that. All right, we got a minute. Yeah, we might. What am I looking at here? Oh, we still do have possible setup. This is going to be terrible. Oh, I hate going in right as the report comes out. I don't like the setup at all. I honestly would much rather be this candle, or any of these other candles pre, but the one, it's tough because price action just goes absolutely bananas. But we'll see. We'll have some fun together. We got a minute left on this candle. Oh, well, there goes. Invalidated that setup. So don't even have to worry about it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Gives me a stream goal of 50 subscribers during the stream. I set this up obviously using a YouTube video that I found, and it's kind of cool how that all worked out. EV Trades, Jay, Rohan, all new subscribers. That's pretty cool. Mohammed. Again, Alex, thank you so much for the 20 bucks of the donation. You're fantastic. I appreciate that. That's kind of cool. Again, if you haven't, here we go. So let's take a look at price action here. Let's just see what, there you go. So there's the wick. Original was up. Got a very strong wick down of about 10 ticks. And let's see. Also, back testing oil inventory reports, huge percentage of them go in the upward direction. that's something to just to think about and just track it. It didn't last week. It did not last week. I believe that was the one that it actually traded down, but most of them do trade up. Now you're going to say, Rob, why don't you trade that? Why don't you trade the up? Yeah, I guess you could, but again, that's discretion, and that's outside the rules and the conditions, and that's where I think issues usually happen. All right, so pretty strong move up. Let's see if we get some continuation here or we start to range. Yes, nothing really happening. Rob reversal. No possible setup there. There you go. That's a pretty damn strong move there. That's about a 45 tick move, just on one 5-minute inside, one 5-minute candle. Again, pretty damn strong move. Almost forgot there was a stream today. Well, glad you're still here. Glad you're here. Again, if you haven't, I always appreciate a like on these streams, a subscribe if you haven't. I think that, I hope that I provide some value out there to some traders. And I'm definitely not a guru. I'm an everyday trader, but feel like over these last year, I've really been able to turn my trading around. I don't use I don't use trading to pay my bills. I couldn't pay my bill. I couldn't even pay my phone bill from my YouTube revenue. So I do have a lot of phones with Verizon. I got 3 kids, so it's not about the money. That's for damn sure. I can tell you that right now. It is one, I have found that making these videos each and every morning, making these videos every morning keeps me accountable. People in Discord keep me accountable. You really can't alternate your strategy. You can't revenge trade because I post every single day exactly what trades, what they happened, what my evaluation accounts sit at. I've posted what my cash accounts, my performance on my cash accounts. So what I have used trading for is, and I've actually adapted a strategy that, I don't know, maybe you guys can even adapt. I should probably even make a video on it. I call it my profiteer strategy. And how this goes is that typically before, I would trade for about 2 weeks and I would kind of see where my account sat at, my cash account. I typically trade with a balance of about $5,000 to $7,000 in my cash account. And, you know, I never really have a day more that I lose than more than $500, which is a big losing day. So my typical win or loss is $200 to $300. And what I used to do was I would wait every 2 weeks, see where my cash account would be at, and then just kind of withdraw whatever balance I had in surplus that would still kind of keep me at in that balance range. Let's just call it $5,000 because the majority of the time it's at about $5,000. Sorry, let's call it $6,000. And you know, if I had 7,000 in the account, I would withdraw $1,000. Or if I had, you know, 6,400, I would draw 400. If I was down, then obviously I wasn't withdrawing. And luckily, I haven't had to deposit funds or retransfer funds like what I was doing a year ago or the first 2 years of my trading, which was just absolutely sucking funds from my Chase account. And then now what I've done is I've actually changed my strategy a little bit, where I have started to take withdrawals every single trading day. And this is, again, just on my cash account. So let's just say, for instance, yesterday I made $560 on my cash account. What I will do is I will take half of my daily profit and just transfer it out. So some days I have $200 that I take out. Some days I have $40 that I take out. If I have a loss, obviously, I do not take anything out. And the half profit that stays in there is to build up the cash account, which now sits, I think, a little over 7,000, somewhere in that area. And the cool thing about it is that it really feels like income at this point now, every single day. So, or at least I should say every single profitable day, you start to see additions and additions. And, you know, if I treat my travel softball team that I coach, if I take them out to ice cream and it's $80 for ice cream for the team and I made $140, I actually feel like my trading has gone into something that offsets my expenses. I still don't necessarily pay bills. I have a full-time job that pays my bills and is what I live off of. And, you know, I've been blessed with that, which is great. So I don't know, that it's for my psychology, it seems to work. It gives me motivation every day to try to get into the green. Obviously I can't control the market. I can't control the strategies every single day, but it's been nice. It's been working. Yeah, because Edward, you got to take some off the top. So I think that that's something else that us as traders get wrong, where we are so concerned with building up our account because we want to maybe trade more size, more position size, and we don't take out any profits. And then you get into a losing month and you see everything dwindle away. You get back to maybe where your original balance was at. Then it's like, what are we really doing at that point? Are we just trading to build up a position size? Or and I guess this is for everybody. This is just for me, what I've been doing. And it gives me a positive mental feeling each and every day. It's nice seeing those additions in I open up my bank account and I see those additions quite frequently, and it gives you a good feeling. And at the same time, I'm still growing my account because I'm leaving half of those profits in there. Obviously, they account for the days that I lose as well. So we're more than likely going to get a setup here in CL. More than likely, I think it's going to be a max position size. Let's take a look and see if that's going to be the case. Yes, more than likely it's going to be a high position, a max position one. So we'll see here what we can get. Let's see what this account sits at right now. We currently sit on this eval at 51,849, so we're about $1,850 in profit. So max trade today. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'm gonna just put in my orders at this point because I've got order submitted. Relatively good feeling. Sorry if that was really loud. Did not have that done right. Should be on my headphones. All right, so we are, obviously I use this indicator by Trade Devils to get me into these trades. I buy up, sell down, and it'll straddle now these inside bars These are OCO orders, so at this point, I'm just letting price action determine in which direction it wants to go. Speaking of that, I am going to take this sucker in cash as well. Let's see. GC, CL. Yes. All right, so we're in both. Now let me open up the streaming software. I'm not sure if you saw my question about Apex. Yeah, I did. I saw some chatter on Discord about the Apex bracket orders. I currently do not trade. I do not trade with Apex. I trade with Top Step. So I honestly don't have much to say about that one because I just don't trade the platform or that prop firm. All right, and then now when you're in a trade, you can pretty much just kind of just let price action determine in which direction it wants to go. So that's the mechanical side of the strategy. All right. Well, I got my order here to go short. So if it hits 53.11, awesome. Yes, I do. I use Rhythmic on Top Step. I take that back. So I use Rhythmic for my connection with Ninja, and I use Top Step X to trade my levels, which is pretty much just a trading view chart. I obviously would much rather prefer Ninja Trader, but this is the way it is. And honestly, to trade levels, I use TradingView to chart my levels anyway, so it is pretty simple. All right, so I got my order in cash. I got my order in on the eval, so hopefully we get a setup here. Now, there is one small caveat to this indicator that can screw you up. So if you remember, I clicked buy up or sell down. Okay, so what that does is it will straddle the previous bar. Based on my strategy, I need these orders to continue exactly where they're at the bottom and the top of this inside bar. If this current candle does not enter into a trade, okay, these orders will then straddle the next candle. So you've got to be very careful with that small aspect of it, okay? Majority of the time, we do get activated in that next candle. And it's the easiest way for me to get into a trade. So we already got into one. I will move my stop loss to, we're looking for 28 ticks. And 28 ticks of profit. All right, so again, at this point, we're in a short and we're looking for 28 ticks, which is $280 of profit. Let me fix my cash account. Sorry about you, cash. Didn't mean to leave you out. 28. All right, so we're in. I'm bringing up the streaming software again. And at this point, I can tell you right off the bat that we did not get the momentum shift to the downward side that obviously I would like to see. So not a good sign right off the bat. But gotta have faith. At this point, the only management of this trade is if we were to get to 70% take profit, which I really hope for, we would then reduce our risk here down by 50%. So I am trading one CL contract, which is $1 per tick. Trading this on the eval and trading this on my cash account with 1CL as well. And now we just kind of sit and wait. A lot of traders do. Yeah, I know. I know Apex is very popular. It's a very popular trading firm. I know a lot of the big YouTubers have all switched from Top Step to Apex, and they're trading 20 accounts at a time with their trade copiers. I get that. All right, so again, not necessarily the best price action for what we're looking for. Did not get that push downward that I talk in each one of our videos, but somehow feel that most of the oil. So Andres, you're right in as to the fact that I would say the average oil size trade is about 23 to 24 ticks. Not points, but ticks. I make that mistake all the time. Gold, I would say, is probably averaging maybe around 19 or 20 ticks. But for May, gold has actually had a lot more max size trades than even oil has. So I guess take that for what it's worth. I think it just happens to be the volatility in the market, you know, what the market is doing. There's many times where a lot of oil trades are 12 ticks, 14 ticks, 9 ticks we just had the other day. So it kind of ranges, but I would say the average is in that 24 tick range. Well, let's take a look at the levels. Well, could possibly get up there. We'll see. We'll see if my first thought of not taking this trade would have worked, or if I was smart. We will see. Right now, all my emphasis is on oil. Hopefully we can get a strong push down. So in the Rockies, you need a price line indicator. Is my price line not the black dotted line there? Explain that one to me a little further. Would you prefer it to be like a solid line with a color on it? Would that make it easier to see where price action is at? Do you ever consider going the opposite direction when you get a new insight that signals going into the opposite direction, but you're already in a trade? No, I do not. Absolutely do not. Come on, oil. Take a drop for me. I was answering the previous viewer. Oh, okay. Sorry. Didn't see that. No. Give me a push down. Let's see some red. Not looking too good here. Not looking good at all. All right, there you go. $280 loss on the eval, $280 loss on the cash account today. So here I was looking for a trade, got it, and that one stunk. So oil session 1, we had a winner for 15 ticks. I didn't take it. Oil session 2, a loser for 28 ticks, and no trading gold. So pretty blah day here. Not the best live stream, but it is what it is. And no setup here in, well, actually no trade thing here, but I'll keep this trade active. All right, I'm going to be done for the day as all the morning strategies have now been completed. Hopefully you guys find some value out of these live streams and the channel in general. Please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't. I don't know what you're waiting for. And I will see you guys here tomorrow. I do not stream every day. I pretty much am starting a routine of every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Just because, like I said, I do have a full-time job and it's almost impossible for me to do this every single day, live streaming it. So that answers that one. Hopefully you guys had some fun. I know I did. Thanks guys for the questions. Thanks for the support. As always, I really appreciate everyone. If you guys have any topics or anything that you would like me to discuss further or make future videos on, I really welcome comments. I will leave the comments open here for a few minutes once the stream ends. And if you've got a topic or anything that you want me to cover more in depth, please just leave me a thing. It actually makes my life a little easier because it gives me content that I know that other people are looking for. All right, I will see you guys here tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone.